What up, family? It's the Bitesize Breakdown crew, and we are back with another episode of A Bigger Bite. And today you are joining us to talk about what I've had people say now might be officially the greatest franchise of all time, possibly. We're here talking about the fifth entry in Toy Story. Like, think back to when you watched the original Toy Story and didn't know, like, animated movies could do that to you. And what, 20 something, more than
30.
27 years
We're,
later.
we're up over 30.
Almost 30. Almost
No,
30
over
years
30.
later.
First one was 95, so we in 30
95,
now.
not 99. There's a reason I think 99 that I'll say in a second. But yeah, 31 years later, and Woody's still an asshole. But anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. Nick, we're here with Nick. Nick, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. I know these come out on different days, but the Dutch just whooped Sweden in the World Cup, so I'm feeling good.
Anybody who watches me on these will not know what day it is because this jersey will be on every single fucking time. Just know the Knicks also won. Shaq, how you feeling?
I'm good. Yo, listen, I'm incredibly anxious about Ivory Coast right now, whether like how they are gonna fare against Germany, but like, you know, hopefully we come through. But also, congrats, Miss Motherfucking New York out here, 53 years.
Yeah, I could go into a tangent. An old man just stopped me in the grocery store to talk about the Knicks in 53 years. That's how much we would.
You'll be wearing this shit for like 6 months. They'll just be musty through the screen. Like, I didn't watch it once.
As you all know, we're gonna get a little sports talking before we get into every bigger bite because that's how it is. But let's get into it. Toy Story 5, gentlemen. How did y'all feel about Toy Story 5? Anywhere you want to start, it's ranking the movie itself. Just go on ahead, Nick. I'll start with you, sir.
It's a tough franchise to rank, but I love this film. I thought it was, for anyone who had their detractors about the decision to continue after 3, this is a film that I felt was more worthy of that continuation than 4 was. Not to say that 4 is a bad film. I've said this to a lot of people. I think Toy Story 4 is a very good Pixar film and a good Toy Story film. And this feels more worthy of the franchise tag. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed this film.
Go ahead, Shaq.
And I came in anxious as hell because, again, yeah, I like, as much as I've loved all of these, even 4, I was like, can they keep regaining this? Because especially with like Pixar, obviously they're not the unstoppable juggernaut that they used to be, but like, if there's anything that they cannot afford to fuck up, even to be mediocre, it would be a Toy Story film. And so by the time the movie was done, I was like, oh, thank God. They still did it. They still got it. It still holds up. Like, honestly, yeah, I do honestly like this more than 4. I just still don't know where I put it among the 3, if I would put it within there or just below it. But regardless, it is still very much worthy of being a Toy Story movie. Like, it is talking about shit that like is very relevant for kids today and like their relationship with toys. And also, I might think that this is like joke for joke, maybe my favorite out of all of them in terms of like the stuff that made me laugh. This is like some of the stuff in this made me laugh the hardest, maybe out of all of these.
That's the thing I want to. Go ahead, Nick. You go first.
I was just gonna say I kind of align with you, Shaq. There, not so much that it's maybe my favorite, but I do think joke for joke, this is probably the funniest one.
I thought it was funny, but that's the thing about 4, that like you sometimes get swept up in the tides of everybody like going like the prevailing theory one way or another with a movie. Every time I'm like haven't watched 4 in a while, I'll go like, oh yeah, 4 was fine, it was okay, and I don't know if they needed it. And then I watch it again, and I was like, what am I talking about? Toy Story 4 is a very good movie. And with Forky, it might be one of the funniest. I think Forky is one of the funniest characters in the entire franchise.
Oh, Forky in general is just a great conceptually because it introduces existentialism in the idea of these toys. Like, what the fuck? You could just make a toy like this? And even him going like, no, I don't belong here. I'm trash. Yeah, he's a great character. And as much as I'm upset that he wasn't really around, but it also didn't really feel necessary for him in the story, every time he showed up in 5 or had a joke, I was laughing my ass off. Him and also his
hilarious,
like Karen Beverly.
Absolutely hilarious. So that goes into like, again, when I watch Toy Story 4 again, I'm like, I need to stop crapping on this movie. Like I keep getting convinced to do so because it is a very, very good movie. It's for me, it's still 5 out of 5, which does not matter because Toy Story is 5 for 5. But that, what you talked about in terms of the existentialism and the trash and all that and being relevant, goes back to the biggest thing that this Toy Story 5 convinced me of. Toy Story is a franchise that, like James Bond, can go on forever because every single new generation has a new evolving thing to deal with in terms of growing up. Like the tech versus toys thing has always been a thing. So being able to like bring in Smarty Pants to say, no, y'all dealt with this tech stuff when y'all were kids too in a slightly different way, but now it's so much bigger. It just makes it so, again, it's a age, and toys are a thing that it will always be relevant over and over and over again. And my favorite part about it in general was having Jessie be the forefront. Her being who the story is about. She is one of the reasons why I think Toy Story 2 is the best out of all of them. And that's why I think 1999 when I think of Toy Story, because I think Toy Story 2, it's not only my favorite, but I think it's the best. Just a combination of entertainment and action and emotion and utilizing the ensemble of characters and cast, new and old, to the best. I think Toy Story 2 does the best out of all of it, and Jessie's a big part of it. So bringing that back and damn near, if you didn't have Woody in this movie, the movie wouldn't change much.
Yeah,
I think
that's one of my only
great thing. I think it's a great thing.
No. My problem is not Woody being supporting. I think that's a great decision to do. Don't force him back as like the main guy. I think it goes to your point. I think one of my few flaws is that I wish that the ensemble, like the cast of characters that we've grown to use over the years, that they weren't sidelined for like a good majority of this. Like I do love the introduction to all the new characters. Like I said, fucking Smarty Pants, Conan O'Brien. Every joke he had me laughing. Like Nick can attest to this. I was crying at like so many of his jokes. And I do like, even Lily, I think, is a great character, a much more nuanced character than I thought it would be. Like, it's still not like super, super deep, but still like way more to this than just evil, generic, I'm here to destroy the toys thing. But as opposed to like the characters that we've grown to love over the years, that like Rex gets a few lines in, Ham gets like a 1-2 thing. I know with Slinky, the original voice actor died, so they don't want to use him as much.
Same thing with Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Head, they barely ever use him. And so I know there's no way to really crowbar them in that much into this story, but it's still, I would have liked for them to have a more active role as opposed to kind of being the peanut gallery.
I would agree. That is one thing in the middle of the movie, especially like when they put in the garage. I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this, but I miss like the Duke Kaboom being in there for 2 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, not even getting Key and Peele in as Ducky and Bunny.
Oh yeah, they just put them silently.
And I was like, again, watching the movie, I didn't mind or I didn't think about it, but looking back at it, I was like, oh, they were so hilarious in 4. I keep it going. I want another movie. I want another ensemble pick. I do. I would like another full ensemble, like give everybody all the toys, their relative place where you don't feel like they're sidelines. And I think Toy Story 3 did that really, really well on top of that. But giving that spotlight to I know what's his face was Craig Robinson too. I don't know who Snappy was. And I think I looked up her name and I don't know who that actress
Snappy
is.
was let me see. Shelby Rabara. I'm not immediately familiar with her. Apparently she's from Steven Universe. She's Peridot on that show. I have not watched Steven Universe aside from like 2 episodes, so I wouldn't have recognized off the bat. But yeah, Craig Robinson. His voice obviously easy to recognize.
Yeah, but Toy Story does extremely well introducing and make you fall in love with the new characters, and then movie to movie, it's hit and miss. But I did really like what they did here in 5, with those new characters and being that bridge for older generations who got introduced to tech, because I fully believe that millennials lived in the best time on earth, where it wasn't taking over your life, but you got access to the new stuff. And Greta Lee as Lily Pad, the second movie in a row where an antagonist doesn't end up being an actual antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think the thing that sticks out about this one, like, yes, the ensemble was pushed aside, but as much as we all think about Andy, this was the most human-centric one that we've had in a while.
Oh,
Where,
for sure, yeah, with Bonnie, yeah.
well, it was Bonnie and Blaze, but even just like the parents getting screen time, it was, and the bullying children getting screen time. Like, this
Also,
was
fuck them goddamn kids. Them kids are the worst.
kids. Fuck them kids, bro.
this was Toy Story by way of Inside Out, which I think is a really interesting place to take the film. I'm with Shaq. I grew up on Toy Story. I grew up on Woody. I didn't need him in this film. It was just a reminder of I'm not as high on. I like 4, but I'm not as high on it as others. And all the good stuff you were saying about 4, the thing that you failed to say was the Woody and Bo Peep stuff, because I think that's the weakest part of that film. And this was just a reminder of where they took Woody. And he doesn't really fit anymore. So all these complaints I'm seeing about people online that they sidebarred Woody, that's kind of his role in this franchise now. And I don't think it hurt the film in any way, shape, or form.
I don't agree with your Bo Peep and Woody.
Yeah, no, you bugging on that last part.
I don't agree at all, because I thought that was he's a sidebar, and he's a natural sidebar because of what happened in 4 to me, because of Bo Peep influencing him. And though I like that he's still around, because you have those people around. Some of his jokes were also hilarious. I love the little
that man got a ball spot in the back.
I do want to mention again, I mentioned it earlier, the more and more I see Woody, the more and more, again, I realize that man is an asshole.
Oh,
Woody
he's
is
a hater.
such a fucking asshole.
Literally one of the all-time great cinematic haters. You think about both, like, I made a list on Letterboxd of like the great haters in cinematic history. I had to put Toy Story 1 and 4 just because Woody's in it twice. Because that man is the biggest hater to Buzz, and then he's the biggest hater to Forky. So like that man, anytime somebody shows up that's trying to take his spot, he's like, get the fuck out of here. That's mine.
He comes back and tries to over deputy Buzz, who's the deputy, and Buzz is the one who's like trying to like do something, and they give him the storyline trying to finally man up and propose to Jesse.
Yeah.
And Woody's coming in trying to steal the thunder, and the movie itself is like, nah, man. You had your time.
This ain't your time no more.
This ain't it no more, man. I wanted to check in on that Buzz storyline as well, though. Starting with the Buzzes and the new ones, going through it, I was like, "What is this? What are they doing? Why is this
what
here?
the hell is like? What does
going
it have
on?
to do with anything? Like, this is fun. I enjoy. Like, I'm having fun watching this. But what does this have to do with the rest of the movie at large?
Yeah, and I think that was the weakest part that I didn't mind in the end, because they had a place plot wise. But the entire time I was like, I was hoping for a little bit better reasoning to have them there. But what they ended up with the end, and them being that army being the reason why they succeeded in what they needed, it was like, all right, cool. But it was a little like, you didn't need that either.
It's like convenience.
For sure.
Yeah, it's something that definitely, it's funny because I know that certain critics got to see like out in California, got to see the first 40 minutes of the film. And I remember sitting when I was seeing this, just thinking like, man, if you've only seen the first 40 minutes of this film and you have to make your opinion on that, you're probably wondering like, what the hell does this multi-Buzz story have to do with anything happening here? And I think that's how we all felt in the first half hour or so of the film. Like, okay, this is cool, but like, none of this is making any sense together. And then when they finally put it together, they did a pretty good job of justifying it, I think. But yeah, the multi-buzzes I don't think was as important as it was led to believe going into this film.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was a cool little like beginning scene to start the movie off, to be like, this is okay. What are we doing here? This is different. This is like the little action stuff you have for the kids and all that. And again, when they wrapped it up, I was like, okay, this is the kids part about it. This is you gave me enough, but kind of feels out of place a little bit.
But also, the second they turned into drones, we were both like, "Oh, they selling that shit." That's a Disney marketing technique right there.
100%. 100%. I want to get back to Jesse though. The 27-year payoff of Emily might be one of the most two things in this movie was some of the most emotional I've ever gotten, because again, When She Loved Me might be the best. Randy Newman, I love you. You got a friend in me, but When She Loved Me might be the best song in the entire franchise. And wrapping that up and seeing that Jessie was the name of the child and that catharsis she had, like, man, the character of Jessie is so damn good.
Oh, we were all crying in the theater. I know it.
Yeah, that was a moment. Like, some people might say like it's too like cheesy, it's too convenient and stuff like that.
No,
this is a franchise that is in large part about the importance of our adolescence and the way we grew up to our adulthood lives. Even like looking at how Woody still means something to Andy. And this was just another, like, the next step of how important that could be. And I think the thing that's interesting about it is, even though it's not like a fully anti-technology film, by the end of it, it does kind of show that, like, where things are going, you lose that. And I think that what this does is spotlight what came before, instead of making it this technology is the worst thing, it's destroying us, but it's just showing the importance of a lot of the stuff that, like, the three of us grew up with.
I really enjoyed that aspect. Like, because there was a point in the movie when Lily was at her most diabolical, when I was like, okay, people are going to come out like tech bad, toys good. And like, as a teacher, I'm like, they're not wrong, y'all. Y'all, the kids ain't it. They're not it right now. They don't know shit right now. They don't know how to do anything right now because of tech. That message has a reason for being there. I promise you. Any teacher in the world right now of middle school or younger, and probably high school right now, I promise you, get the fucking iPad out of your baby's hands. Please.
Oh, yeah.
But I say all that to say this. There is a time and place and reason for iPads and technology and the connectedness that it can give people and the good reasons for it. But the fact that it ended up finding a way to balance, like, no, tech can be good. Old technology and holding on to your childhood, it can also be good. Nostalgia can be great as long as there's a balance. And that might be one of the things that, like, got me even higher on the movie, especially because it was Bonnie centric.
Yeah. Also, get 8-year-olds the fuck off of group chats. They don't need group chats.
It's bad, man. Oh my God, it's bad. Like, my teacher brain, when they sent that stuff to Bonnie, and I was ready to go to war. I was ready to.
You want to cuss the parents out in the theater? Like, how dare you? Don't do that. Don't put that shit in your baby's hands.
Bro, like, who's looking at you? Look at what your child is doing, please. What is happening? And why are they that mean? Like, I was ready to Issa Rae, Kobe some kids, bro. Like, man. So, I want to move it over to the Bonnie storyline, because that's the other thing that I was definitely tearing up. When she got those messages and she was dealing with that, my heart was just done.
I am so protective over Bonnie. I'm like, don't you dare hurt that sweet, innocent baby. And so, yeah, like, I think, yeah. Sorry, because she's much more developed as a character. Because for the most part, the kid, like we talked about before, even Andy isn't that much of a character in like those first three movies. Like he's obviously there for a reason, but like you don't really get to sit with Andy and like his emotional state for certain things, right?
Not until like the last 15 minutes of 3.
Exactly. Now with Bonnie, because we get to see her. If we've seen her grow and evolve as a character, especially here, so you get that a much stronger connection. So again, I'm like, don't you get that shit away from my baby? It's like I got so protective, like it was my own daughter, and yeah, they have done an incredible job of just getting me to care for the kid as much as the toys.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Andy never really felt like an outcast, and that's what adds the layer of humanity. Like even in Inside Out, again, like Riley is not an out and out loser. Like she has her friends group, and she's a little outside of the main popular club, but it's not like she seems like she's really bullied or anything like that in the way that Bonnie is attacked in this film. And I liked getting to see that kind of like the way that she's being treated, that they didn't like sugarcoat it and be like, oh, she has her friends and they're all playing their iPads. I like that they went, I don't want to say dark because that's not the right word.
But like
I
her
like
friends
that
are fake
They
friends.
went real.
Yeah, they went real because like that's what would happen. And you'd be criticized for things, for being a fan of this, for having clothes that are not new and popular, that are hand-me-downs. Like there's all that kind of stuff. And I like that they used that scene to kind of spotlight what kids go through with that.
Yeah. And then the introduction of Blaze. It's my people, Black and Hispanic, weirdos, nerds. Like I have yet to see Black people on horses, except for like
Nope.
the harder they fall. Nope. There was that one Netflix movie, Concrete Cowboys or whatever.
Concrete Cowboy,
like there's a lot. They could go to Tennessee or wherever that is. There's a lot of Black people on horses, but having a farm, and like the fact that she was 9 and still playing with toys and having that imagination, and just there was a bunch of things that like felt so real in terms of the darkness of it and the how mean kids can be, but also like I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick. I don't know what your issues growing up were, but I know me and Shaq can connect to. If we were the Black kids and we were the nerds, we had to fight to be like, y'all, I'm cool still. Like, and I got lucky enough. Shout out to all my boys, because like I used to at lunch go do like knowledge bowls and trivia stuff. And my boys who had nothing, he was like, hey, yo, go do your nerd bowl. I was like, yep, I'm out. And they were cool. And it was good. And like showing that representation of like, yeah, you're going to get bullied, but your people are out there. I promise you, your people are out there. And they don't got to be nothing like you, or they can be a lot like you. Like when we were growing up, those movies, like those messages wouldn't be relayed. Like Bonnie would have never told her mom about the chat in movies like 10 years ago. And then when she actually showed them and said, hey, children, you can feel your feelings, but then have an emotional stability to be like, I trust my parents to show them this. And then to do it, that there were so many things that like I never thought I would have. I was like, she's never going to show this. They're never going to meet. It's going to be another little white girl that she's cool with. I'll even go slightly there, low key. Like I wonder if it's a little bit about like their who they like and who they don't at that appropriate age level. I kind of caught that vibe too a little bit enough that we're like, we're not going to say it outright. But you could feel the connection there a little bit as well, where it's like, okay, 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds are thinking about that too, but we're not going to put it out there. There were so many things on the human side that used to be shut out and not talked about that they're just kind of putting in the forefront, which I loved.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's unfortunate, but in a lot of representation, what the message would be to someone like Bonnie is change with the times, become the little iPad girl. And I think it's really important that they let her like retain who she is and her sense of self, and instead she finds someone who is like her. And they also didn't do the thing where, like, she goes to the sleepover, even if it was like later in the film, she goes to sleepover after the fact, and she teaches these girls how cool her toys are, because that's unrealistic too. And that's the
Yeah.
kind of stuff that you would see a lot of in these style of films. And I like that it was like this pairing just isn't going to work, like not in that way at least. And she gets to keep being herself, and she finds someone who's on the same wavelength as her. And I think that's so important with this film that they made that decision.
100%. The other thing that I noticed off the bat, how much better this fucking animation looks.
Man, this shit
Like,
is a gorgeous.
the animation is gorgeous.
Those imagination sequences where they completely like switch the animation are amazing. I also clocked like the wedding / murder mystery, the spy mission, which I'm dying at the spy mission because of course they gave Conan his hair. But like those sequences are just so much fun to watch, and like even outside of that, just they keep iterating on the technology that they've made. Watching Toy Story 1, like clips of Toy Story 1 and this back to back, don't even look the same. You're like, what? We have evolved like crazy.
And we back then thought, oh my God, this looks so amazing. Reminds me of like video games where we thought like 2K1.
N64 was like the pinnacle.
The pinnacle of animation. And yeah, the Spider-Verse influence is crazy because those animation sequences, imagination sequences was basically just Gwen Stacy's world. Mm-hmm. The pastel colors and everything. That's what I saw the entire time. Yeah, I just thought that finding new ways, not only like, well, the horse looks so damn good, the real one.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember Blaze's horse's name, but like that being looking so good, and then saying, "Hey, y'all, I know everybody thinks this." We're
Daffodil.
Daffodil, thank you. And Jimmy Dean. Shout out Jimmy Dean.
Shout out Jimmy Dean one time.
Jimmy Dean, the pet pig, so dope. But people saying, why do we need this movie? And then like, not only story wise, but we gonna flip the animation on you as well and give you something new. They brought out a bunch of stuff to remind everybody like, yo, there's a reason we continue. There's like 2 more stories in the bag here that I can think of. Shout out to Andrew Stanton, Pixar regular director, for really doing a damn good job there.
Man, I'm trying to see because he did like WALL-E. He's done like a lot of the great.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't
WALL-E and Finding Nemo? The only one that's kind of is like
yeah.
Finding Dory.
I love Finding Dory. Don't do that. But anyway,
his track record is great.
Finding Dory didn't get the love it deserved. But I will say, and this might sound sacrilegious, but I could end it here. Like
I also could end it here.
There's no world I could end it after 4. It just didn't feel right. Obviously, I could have ended it after 3. I could end it here. I think this is a really beautiful tie-up for all these characters. And like we're going to get more because kind of
it's Disney and they're
going to
keep doing it until they stop making money.
Yeah,
till they're 90.
That's the Disney machine. But yeah, I could end it here, and I could be really satisfied if this was how it all came to a close, because I don't really know what use it is showing Bonnie grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you just end up retreading Andy's story a little bit there. And it's one of those things, like, we like the characters, but even in this one, like we said, Rex and Mr. Potato Head and stuff were all sidetracked. And it's just kind of like, we've got cool things like Forky and stuff like that, but there's no direct path forward after this. I know that they were talking about this is going to be the beginning of Jesse's trilogy. Like, I'll watch that, but I'm not really interested in Jesse's trilogy. I feel very complete with the story we got in Jesse in this film, that I don't think we need to keep going with that. So I know we're likely going to get more, but I would be more than okay if this was the end of it. And that's not a knock on the film in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. I think
that's actually
my only thing that I would say is that, to go back to something you said earlier, Rue, is that yes, this franchise could continue onward, but I don't know. They'd have to introduce new like obviously Jesse's been like essentially the central figure, but like they'd have to introduce a newer, younger character. I would think at this point because like obviously these actors are getting up there in age, and so so I would say if they're going to do something, if they're going to have this series continue onward or whatever the fuck, they would need characters that are going to be around for a while and not have them like recasting voices and shit like that. Obviously, they've been doing that for like the smaller characters. Unfortunately, we have with like Mr. Potato Head and Slinky and even Mr. Prickle Pants, which I forgot about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not going to be fully sustainable when, especially when it comes to like the main characters, their voices are so indelible to like Woody is Tom Hanks, Buzz is Tim Allen, Joan Cusack is Jesse. You can't switch those people up.
Yeah, so one, I think it's the mark of an amazing movie where it's in the middle of the franchise. You said, I don't need no more. Like we ended on a good note, just like at the end of Toy Story 3. Selfishly, I personally want more Blaze. I want to say, like, Blaze is a character that I am fully invested in right now, and I would love to see her come back. And like, you don't got to get them much older, but everything, all those points y'all said was right, because that was the thing I was thinking about. Like, okay, Pixar has proven, and the writers at Pixar have proven that you have stories for Toy Story. And like, I feel like I saw it somewhere in the news, whether it was Andrew Stanton or somebody else. No, we have legitimate places to go for 6 and 7. Like, we know where we're going and we have reason to do it. My trust is, I like 4, but my trust was wavering. Like, you got to prove to me again why we need to go back to Toy Story. It's proven to me now. Like, keep it going, keep it moving. But yes, you need to start getting new cast members in there. Toys don't age, yes, but you gotta, for real life things.
Yeah.
Actors do. We need new main characters. You already getting Woody on the sideline a little bit naturally. Buzz is starting to like he's a main part of it, but it's not him. So his story is kind of,
he doesn't have much left to do. Like
he doesn't have much left. Yes.
Like the marriage to Jesse was like the last major thing of his character that I would say.
So wondering a lot, like how they would be able to introduce a new main set of toys while still having the old guard bridge them in. That would be the new frontier to wonder about.
Mm-hmm.
But see, here's the thing, Rue, and it's twofold. There is 2 ways you can go. We just talked about the fact of what a modern day child is like, and toys aren't really what they were anymore. So introducing new toys in a modern story, I just don't think is going to work. You would be going towards technology again. So I think that's out. So you could do something in a different time period if you were going to do that. You would start with different toys, but you would do it not in the 21st century. The other thing I think that's kind of important is, like you just said, you want to see Blaze's story. You want to see more of Blaze. And my argument against that would be, I don't think more of Blaze would be a Toy Story. I don't think that's the interesting part about Blaze. It's like we talked about. It's the pig. It's the horse. It's her farm, like all this kind of stuff. Like, you could do a Blaze film if that's what you really wanted, but it wouldn't have to be a Toy Story. Yeah, it wouldn't have to be a Toy Story. And that's where, when this is all done, I don't really know where we go. Because like Shaq said, the actors are getting older. Tom Hanks is getting older. Joan Cusack is pretty much out of Hollywood for the most part, except for coming back for this. And yeah, that is the voice of Jessie. And it's also a very difficult voice to replicate. So you're not going to recast her. So it does feel like if we're not getting the end here, like the end is going to be forced upon us with one of these 6 or 7s. And I just don't think they've stuck the landing in incredible fashion twice. And I don't think lightning is going to strike a 3rd time. I think you don't take for granted what you've done.
Dude, I just realized this franchise is basically Futurama because they've also done the same thing where they've ended miraculously well 3 times, and they keep pushing it. I'm like, yo, every time they're like, "Oh, we're coming back," don't do that.
It's a interesting place to end off. Like we know they're going to keep going. Where are they going to go? How are they going to do it? Are they going to be able to pull it off?
I'll also say this: that credit song is mid as fuck. I'm not gonna name the lady, that white lady there, but like that song, I did not care for it. Like it was a song that was just kind of there. I never felt like it was like the Randy Newman or even like the Sarah like the When She Loved Me. I was like, this song exists and this shit's gonna be on the radio, but I don't give a fuck about this song.
Yeah, I also don't. It's a personal thing. I really don't like the "No point in this. Did we get You've Got a Friend in Me?" I know Randy Newman
I didn't need it,
but that is like the nostalgia that I wanted a little bit. Like there were moments that I felt that, and I would have preferred that over any Taylor Swift song that they came up with for this film because it just didn't add anything to it. And realistically, that's what you want. But it's just an Oscar bait.
I don't think it took away from it either.
No, it doesn't take away from the movie. I just didn't care for the song.
Yeah, it's fine. I will end off in this and let y'all take your final thoughts after this. If at the right moment they brought back When She Loved Me in the middle of the movie, we all would have collapsed. Absolutely. That's the song that I was waiting to come back. Now You Got a Friend in Me. If that needle dropped, everybody would have been a Tony Stark at the end of Endgame, sitting down watching the sunset at the Infinity War fucking puddle. But anything, last thought, Snake, last thought, Shaq, before we get out of here.
I will say about You've Got a Friend in Me, that where I think it is, because I'm not near as negative on nostalgia that a lot of people are. It to me is when I used to go to the Star Wars films and a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away would come up, I would get like a chill, like a feeling. And they don't do that for the films anymore. And I don't have that feeling for the films anymore. And I like that that's the one thing about Toy Story that's like, this is their calling card. And it would have been nice, even if it was just like a low-key thing in the background if they got it. It doesn't make or break the film for me by any means, but considering Randy Newman was still involved in it, I would have liked to have seen it, especially more than that mediocre Taylor Swift song. But I think this is going to sound harsh, but I don't mean it to. We're in love with these characters. We grew up with these characters. And it's just a matter of what other stories are to tell. And I think I kind of equated a little bit like The Simpsons. We love these characters. We can go back and watch old Simpsons episodes over and over and over again. If we're somewhere and we see a clip of a new one, we're not going to hate it. We're going to be like, hey, it's Homer. But eventually there's a time where diminishing returns happens. It's happening right now with The Simpsons, obviously. It has been for quite some time. And I don't want to get to a point where Toy Story becomes that.
Shaq, last thoughts.
There's really nothing that much that I can expand upon that we haven't really touched. Like everything, like again, I highly enjoyed this movie. I love this movie. This has been like Pixar's strongest year for me in a while, where I adore both, because both this and Hoppers I adored, and so yeah, my fear is just that fear of diminishing returns is ever present the more they keep announcing these things, but. If they keep coming out as good as like these have been, then I'm okay with it. It's just the hump is just gonna get a little higher. I'll keep saying, but yeah, still really, really enjoyed it.
It's 2026. Toy Story has another great movie out. The New York Knicks have won the NBA championship. What a time to be alive. So with that, what a time for y'all to subscribe, like, go to bitesizebreakdown.com, check out all the reviews, check out the new top 5 we got coming out in a bit, and watch all our other bigger bites that are on this channel. And for Nick, for Shaq, we are out of here. Peace.